Good day, everyone. Once again, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. I believe you've seen Delta State University Abraka, Faculty of Education Teaching Practice Handbook. You already know that I still want to talk about the Delsu Teaching Practice. But for this very video, I want to review the Teaching Practice marking scheme or the Teaching Practice assessment form. Let's get started. On the day of your supervision, your supervisor will be coming to look at 10 criteria that must be met on that very day. 10 criteria, and all of them are rated from 5 to 1. 5 is excellent, you already know that. Then 4 is very good. 3 is good. 2 is average. And then 1 is poor. So out of the 10 criteria, your supervisor will be coming to look at that very day. This 10 again is subdivided, like each of them is subdivided into two. We have the A and the B. And that's to say, if you are able to get everything in total, will give us 20 criteria that your supervisor will be coming to look at on that very day. So these 20 criteria, if you are able to get 5 in all of them, so 5 times 20, that will give us 100. So that's what they are looking at. So, but based on the criteria, that's how your mark will be awarded. For example, now, if you say, let me just say this, what is a noun? And the answer was not that cogent enough. They can give you 4, they can give you 3, they can give you 5, they can give you 2. Maybe you are unable to say anything, they can give you 1. So that's just it. But the poorest you can get is 1, and the highest you can get for each of the criteria is 5. So let me show you those criteria, which is the teaching practice marking scheme or the practice assessment form. Okay, let's get started. The first thing your supervisor is going to look at on the day of supervision is the lesson preparation. And under the lesson preparation, I said it's divided into the other time. We have lesson notes or lesson plan should be neatly written out and comprehensive. Remember, it will be 5, it will be 4, it will be 3, it will be 2, it will be 1. So these are the grades. So if your lesson plan is well structured, neatly written out, he might or she might give you 5, 4, just like that. But if you have too much of cancelling, just now you are going to 3, 2, and 1. Then the next thing under the lesson preparation is clear objective correctly written out. Now, our objective should be by the end of the lesson, students should be able to define, I stated in my other video, should be able to state, should be able to do this, should be able to do that, not at, please, correction please, it is by the end, not at the end. So this is the one they work with, not this very one. If you have this one in mind before, please begin to format it now. So by the end of the lesson, students should be able to, I said, for every lesson, your 45 minutes or 40 minutes lesson preparation, at least have 3 stated objectives. 3 stated objectives. It should not don't work with 2 or 1, and don't work with 5 or 6. 3 or 4 is okay. Because if your objectives are too much, or there are too many for that particular period of time, if you are unable to achieve them, that is going to affect your result again. So the next thing is opening procedure. Your lesson well started with a good method. Which method do you use to start your lesson? In terms of when you enter the class, which method are you using to start your lesson? The best method in which I use, and I feel most of you should also adopt that method, is questioning method. When you enter a class, the first thing is, what is this? What is that? Let's say, define this. So those are some of the terms I do use in class to gain their interest. That's one. Then the next thing is, all students make part of the lesson. So if you enter the class after using that method, how will the student be part of the lesson? Because that's the next step now. So it means when you enter the class, the lecturer is looking at the method you are going to use. Then the next step is that after using that method, are they part of the lesson? Remember, if you use, that's why I said use questioning method, because if you ask them questions, the student will definitely respond. So that is going to go to the next question. All students make part of the lesson. So if they respond so well, most cases it should be a previous knowledge. So reference the topic you have taught them before, reference it, so that they can give you the correct answer to your questions. Maybe a clap, something like that, like there should be a reward or a reinforcement to it. So they'll give you a mark for that. Then the next thing, development of the lesson. How do you develop the lesson? Presentation of related materials to student experience, what they know before. Present materials on that. For example, now I'm teaching this, the previous topic I taught, or that topic I'm teaching now is related to another topic again, or is related to something in their environment. So that's what this thing is talking about. So the next one is students made part of the presentation through discussion. So what you are presenting to them, we should all discuss. So we are giving you another method again. The method you are using here now is what? Discussion method. So this very one now, students should be actively involved. It should not be just lecture method. From here, from the beginning of the class down to this place now, to step 3, here is discussion what? Method, which is very, very vital. The fourth thing you have to know in teaching practice marking scheme is knowledge of the subject matter. And under the knowledge of the subject matter, we have teachers show sufficient knowledge of the content, sufficient knowledge of the concept. Now, like what I said in my last video, go to TP and practicalize what you have studied in school. You are in economics education, you are going to TP and to teach chemistry. There's no correlation between this. So please, we are going to TP, we have the privilege to select the subject we want to teach. The school will give us that privilege. They will tell us what can you teach. So we tell them what you can teach. Some school will tell you, okay, you can't teach in senior secondary school, you have to teach in junior secondary school. But they will give you the privilege to select a particular topic you can teach. So choose something you know very well, something you believe that you can defend at any time and any day. So that's the next, that's the fourth thing you have to do. Then the next thing is that take cognizance of the student level. What you are dishing out to the student, are they matured enough to assimilate? You are teaching calculus in primary 1, can they assimilate? You are teaching a first 20 elements in a kindergarten, will they assimilate? So those are some of the things you should ask yourself. Because if you are teaching something that is differ or that is above the student level, the lecturer will not award the mark. Remember, it is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you teach something that is too much, or if you are not knowledgeable enough, because some students they like to do they might ask you a question that you don't even know. And if you don't answer the question correctly, the lecturer will know. Some lecturers are intelligent, that's natural. They know that if they know when when their co-teacher is correct or when they are wrong. So please be knowledgeable of that your subject content. Then the fifth I have here is communication. Teachers speak correctly and they use appropriate words. So English students, this is your own. But it's general for everybody. If you can't speak correctly, so start learning it now. But if you can, that's a +1 to you. Then the next thing is that it's +5 rather, not +1. It's already a +5, a bonus mark already. Then the next thing is teacher has appropriate voice level, like what I do say. Before your supervisor comes in, enter the class, just your normal day-to-day activities, just enter, teach. One of the day, call your supervisor, a student teacher, that please just go and stay back of the class if you can hear me. So teach. If he can hear you very well, then that means everybody in the class can hear. But if your supervisor is around and you are teaching, the supervisor will just tell you, hey, pack your books, leave. He will give you a rough score, anyhow score, maybe a B or a C. So, but these are some of the criteria. Please, your voice level should be audible enough to cover the class. Then the sixth I have here, teaching technique or instructional material. Your teaching technique, enough teaching and learning aid. So this very one, if you are teaching water, like what I said in my other video, go to the class with water. If you are teaching sanitation, go there with broom, go there with packer, just do something, bring the social material to the class. There is, I believe that 90% of what we teach has instructional material, either real object, map, diagram, picture form of it, or table, anyone, but make sure you come with what, I can even say 100%, but let me work with 90%. So please, whatever you are teaching, go there with enough teaching material. Like what I said before, every topic have its own teaching material or social material. Like what I did the day my supervisor came to the class to supervise me, all my teaching aid, I brought them to class, all of them. I hung them on the wall. I used the whole class to decorate chemistry. I decorated chemistry everywhere. This is a periodic table, this is that. So when the supervisor entered, I realized that everywhere is already filled with chemistry. The whole board was designed with chemistry, and those things were not actually for that class, but you know, chemistry is related. So when I was teaching, I would just touch one, talk a little, touch one, talk a little, touch. So the lecture was a staff advisor, Dr. Mrs. Biokoro. She was the one that supervised me. She was like, wow, this boy is doing good. So, but we thank God. So the next thing, appropriate chalkboard writing and illustration. Like what I did just now, I told you about the score. I've written 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 here. Yes, 90%. So some of the things you say, go to the board and write them. Don't just lecture. Sometimes go back to the board, go and write some things there. So if you are writing while teaching, I'm not saying lesson note to, like when you are explaining, you do go to the board and adjust some things that for student clarity. Then this particular mark, they can give you 4 or 3. The seventh step we have to discuss in this very video is the teacher's responsibility. Teacher's responsibility. Before we continue with this, I want to say a big thank you to the Esan president. I'm talking about the Education Student Association of Nigeria President Delsu chapter, Comrade Power if you are his executive. I want to say a big thank you to you all, and also to my honorable senator representing Faculty of Education, that's Comrade Uwadion Marvelous. I certainly want to say thank you very much, sir. So let's get started. The seventh thing is teacher is well dressed and avoid distractive mannerism. As a teacher in the school, you must be well dressed. Like me, you must be well dressed. So basically, I'll be asking a lot of questions regarding should I put on trouser? Should I put on this? Should I put on this? For guys, you can put on trouser without earring. But for girls, you can put on earring. But trouser is kind of prohibited in some areas, in some schools. But some schools do accept trouser, while others don't accept trouser. So if you get to your school, they say you can put on trouser, it's fine. But they tell you not to put on, no, it's also fine. And there are some supervisors as well that they do look trouser somehow, and there are other supervisors that are welcome trouser. To me, if I were advised, I would say don't even put on trouser, just dress normal. How many weeks? Just 6 weeks. So just put on your normal stuff. You can put on gown, you can put on skirts, finish your teaching, then you can continue with your trouser. So that's it. Because if the school accept trouser, what about if the supervisor decline? So those are some of the things you should take note of. Don't dress sexy to seduce students. So some people will actually look at some things you might not, you feel they are okay, but others will look at them and will feel it is not okay. So please, I want to say this for the ladies: if you feel you must put on trouser, it is fine. But for the sake of the TP, just this week, I prefer you just eliminate trouser for the now. After your TP, you continue with your trouser. Remember, there is a go. So let's continue. Show pleasantry and be active. And be active. As a TP teacher, you must be very, very active in class. And during your classes, there should be a reinforcement. Like I do say this a lot. Reinforce the students. If you can say this, I'm going to give you this. If you can do this, I'm going to give you this. Or maybe if you don't have anything to give, maybe just a clap. You got the answer correctly, a clap. So something like that. There should be a reinforcement. Then the next thing is teacher/pupils interaction. Teacher uses appropriate techniques to involve students. Then the next one is questioning style is effective and valid. Questioning style, I love this a lot. So teacher uses appropriate technique to involve students. You can use questioning style. Questioning style is effective and valid. The use of questioning style. So these two things as well, you can also involve them. Like what I do out of teacher/pupil interaction. Know your student by their names. Don't call them, hey, stand up. What is it now? No, it is wrong. If you want to even punish a student doing that, if you want to call anybody out, whether for punishment or for a reward, for anything, don't call them big head, mosquito net. No, 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 no. Call them by their names. So I want to do this as a challenge. The first week of your TP, what you are expected to know, at least let's just go with 10 students. Know 10 students' names, their surname and their name. Just 10. Just work with 10. Not 10. Maybe with time you can now upgrade the 10 to 20 or thereabouts. So let's continue. The next thing is classroom atmosphere. Teacher control the class effectively from the beginning down to the end. So if you're unable to control your class from the beginning to the end, in fact, if you can't control your class from the beginning, the supervisor might not, we even try to stop the class. That's just it. So please try as much as possible to control your class. Try to control them. And don't think that you can just control the class by going there to do your supervision. No. You have to start controlling the class from the beginning. So when your supervisor comes, it will be a normal thing for you. But if you have not done that before, you want to control them when supervisor arrives, it's going to be very, very difficult for you. Then the next one is ability to sustain the student interest. The first thing is to arouse their interest. Then the next is to sustain the interest. So please make sure you have the capacity to sustain the interest of the student. Like what I do say most time, one thing I use to sustain their interest is telling stories. I'm not saying telling stories that are not related to the course. We are teaching family, I can tell you a story on family. Today is culture, I can tell you a story of culture. We are teaching chemistry, I can tell you a story of chemistry. So anything at all, but just formulate something that you feel will be able to sustain your student interest. Then the next thing, give them assignment. And after giving them assignment, it's actually here. Teacher gives students assignment, sorry, teacher give assignment to the class, teacher check previous assignment given to the class. Like what I do most time, immediately when I enter the class, I will tell them, if you know that you have not done my assignment, just signify. If you have done my assignment, who got 5/5, who got 4/, so that the lecturer will know that I have already marked the assignment. Because most lecturer will not allow me to do all of them. So spare for sometimes, some person will put a 5 minutes get out of the class. Some lecturer will be like 20 minutes, you can stop. Some person, but my first supervision was about I even spent close to 40 minutes or 45 minutes, and I was the one that stopped the class before the supervisor was like, "Is that all?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She was even smiling. I thank God. Yeah, that's Dr. Mrs. Biokoro. Thank you very much, ma'am, because I got an A in it. I say I not get A before for we thank God. We thank God. So back to this. If you enter the class, if possible, reference the assignment before any other thing. Then at the end of the class, give them assignment. You can just write assignment. You can even give the classwork first, then submit the classwork, and then take this assignment to submit so time tomorrow, or so time so time. That's it. But please, I want to beg you all, if you are able to watch the video from the beginning to this very end, and you feel there's something that is there that you don't really understand, you can drop it in the comment section. And if you feel I've actually solved your problem, you can as well drop it in the comment section. Thanks for watching, but I would love you to share this video to others. And for those of us who are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I want you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope to see you all in the TP. And not only that, I hope we all get an A during 2024/24 academic session teaching practice exercise. Do have a nice day.